Welcome, 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 welcome. As you can see, we were preparing. Today I'm gonna make some lovely, lovely, delicious steak from beef heart. This is the beef heart. So we're gonna make some steaks from that. And we're also gonna be making a nice vegan rice that you can eat without any meat. Again, welcome to the channel. This is Food for Real AML. I am your host today, Chef Bliss. Your host, Food for Real. Sometimes not here, so then me, the video man. takes over. So today I just want you to sit back, relax, enjoy, and just take it in. I won't say too much, but you can just follow along if you want to do the same thing, or just take heed while I go along. So as you can see, we have much prepared already. We have our rice in the pot. Not our rice, we have our pumpkin and our red beans already in the pot, which we're taking you to right now. As you can see, that's boiling already. So yes, we are on the way, and we are using our wooden spoon as normal to keep our pots from rusting and from scraping. Scrape brings rust. So there we are. We have pumpkin and we have our red peas inside already. So we're just gonna chop up a few more vegetables. So please just stay along with us as we go. Don't forget to tap that like button if you like what you see, and to help us move up in the algorithm. Here we go. So this is my beef heart. It's already cleaned. It's just ready to be steaked. So for this meal, I'm not going to be making too much large steaks. Just going to be slicing it down right there. It does still have a little bit to clean, but that's alright. We can do that after. This should make it even way easier. If you have a sharper knife, it should work way better. Okay, welcome back everyone. Seems we have most of the preparations ready, so we can get to the meat of the matter. So we're just gonna turn it down to the pot so you can see what's going on, because that's the main event. Here we have our pumpkin, and we have our red beans already boiling, which is good to go. We have our seasonings on the side, as you can see, but these will go in after the rice goes in. Before that, we will season this meat, which is beef heart. Just give it a rinse. This is the heart of the cow. So we're just gonna season this up. Just gonna let you see what we do. So here we have some garlic seed powder, we have some onion powder, and we have some ginger powder. Here we have our paprika, we have our black pepper, and beneath that we have our pepper flakes. Here we have some homemade lemon pepper. You can see this on our channel. Again, this is homemade lemon pepper. We also have here our cornstarch. The cornstarch will hold the flavors in and make that meat nice and savory. Here we have our baking soda. Baking soda will make your meat really soft. It won't break apart, but it will be soft and cook really well. We just use like a tablespoon, a tablespoon of baking soda and a tablespoon and a half of cornstarch. Just want to rub that in. Those flavors smell really nice. And that's ready. So we're just going to put this aside and let it soak in. What I like to do is just give it a few little pokes, and that's it. We'll just cover this and put it aside, just to let those seasonings kick in. Once everything stabilizes, we'll start searing that. So we'll just put this aside for now. We will make a lot of mess in the kitchen, so that is something you always gotta look out for. Okay, here we have our stuff going. We're gonna bring our rice out. We gotta rinse our pans, right? So we're gonna bring our rice out. We'll be using that long grain rice today. This one is parboiled and long grain rice. And that's what we'll be using today. This should capture a lot of color because it's plain rice. So it should give you a little color. be using about 2.5 pounds because I want to make dinner for today and lunch, maybe dinner for the next day. So I'm choosing my quantities. So we have our rice here. What we're basically going to do, we're going to wash our rice. We'll put that under some running water. We do like the old folks, they told us to wash it like 3 times. So the washing, you just want to squeeze it in. Sometimes you have rice that has stones in it because rice are from the earth. They grow like out in the wild, so you know how it goes. So you just do like this. Sometimes you feel stuff, sometimes you don't. You want whatever is there, like the shells, to float up when the water goes there. This is where you're going to wash it. And we're going to do this like 3 times. Once 3 times is done, we can just like literally, because you will see most of that starchy water becomes a little clear, not clear, but a little clear. The first wash, you see how starchy it was, that white stuff. So after the 3rd wash, it should look clear enough to be put in a pot. So this is what it looks like after the 3rd wash. Much clearer, right? So I'm just draining that water off the rice because you don't want to overdo the water. I'm also going to put in my coconut milk. So before we do the rice, I want to get my coconut milk a little bit cooked. So I found my scissors. So what you want to do with this, for me, I'll get a metal bowl, if I can find it. Where did I find it? Okay. So I'm just going to get a little bowl because I need to batter this or mix it out before I put it in, because you don't want any lumps or clumps in it. So what I do, they said to use warm water, right? So instead of me making warm water, I'm gonna just grab some of the hot water there. I mean, it's not warm, it's hot, but it's about consistency, like making porridge. You have to keep stirring. So basically that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep stirring. Make sure that mixture is consistent. Don't let anything stay in the sides. If you see lumps come out, all you do, you just crush them like on the sides within the range of the hot stuff, and it should crumble. You can also get some more hot water since most of that's mixed out, and just throw it in there. Normally I just use a fork because then you can do a little whisk action and get even more of these lumps out if they're there. So I'll show you with the fork. With the fork, you just go in, you do a little whisk action, and most of them should crumble. because what happens is that the milk particles, when the water hits it, the outer layers forms a wall. It's like limestone or chalk. Once the outside is wet, everything else inside is protected. So then you're just gonna throw that inside. Yeah. I was gonna rinse it, but there's nothing, right? So along with that, I'm just gonna add one of my garlic cloves, and I'm gonna stir that in. So I'm gonna let that boil in. I'm not gonna stir it too much. Let it do its thing. I'm gonna half mask the pot so you can still see it working. You know you gotta always clean up, right? Well, I'm always clean up. Alright, so we got most of these things ready. We got our rice, we got our milk in the pot, our coconut milk. Along with our coconut milk, we're going to go ahead and add our cumin powder. I love cumin powder. And as I said, we're doing a vegan meal alongside some steak. So it's a meal that if some people do not eat meat, they can just go ahead and eat this by itself. There we have our cumin inside. What we want that is just to like soak in the flavors. We also have our chickpea here, which is gonna go in afterwards. We also have our seasonings that's gonna go inside too. We also have our carrot. So again, everyone, we're here just doing this. We had some broccoli here soaking in baking soda water just to get rid of bacteria, so we're just gonna wash that now. Alright, seeing these are washed, it's the best time to cut them up, right? So let's just do it. So I'm not gonna really cut into them. I just want to cut them off the stalk because they're gonna be going into the pot just like that. It's kind of like a garden dish, right? And those are already like bushels. Some you can even make smaller. All to your preference on how you like to eat your broccolis. I like my broccolis how they come, right? So I try to keep them as close as possible to what they normally are. Alright, cool. So now we're gonna go ahead and give that a little stir again, just to make sure everything is coming on nicely and perfecto. It looks really good. Everything looks nice. Basically now we're gonna do our steak while the rice is going on, just to get the ball on the road. So we're gonna half mask that again. We're gonna grab our steak pan, turn our stove on, and we're getting ready for that to start heating up. Once that starts heating up, we'll start getting to that. You can hear the music, right? Tell me that doesn't look beautiful. So our rice will be going in very soon. Our pot is heating up, so we're just gonna add a little oil to that. I'm gonna remove this for a second. Actually, let's play with it. So we have this here, and we're making our nice little meal. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a salad, a quick salad while we wait for the pot to heat up. Who likes salads? Well, this one's for you. Not to be too extravagant, but hey. Making you something you can make at home too. Okay, we see our rice is ready for the road. So we're just gonna put our rice in while we're here. You can see that. Again, we do need a measurement for our rice, which I will do in a second. And yes, don't get water into oil. It pops. Oh, that's gonna be so good. So we have our pumpkin, we have our red beans, we have our cumin, a little garlic. Let's empty all this rice into the pot. Don't want to waste a bit. When all my friends eat some of this, I'll ask them to let you guys know how it tastes. So you see that it actually tastes good. Okay, there we go. So now that we have that inside, I'm gonna add a little bit of powdered seasoning, natural seasoning to it. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little garlic seasoning. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little onion powder. These are all naturally made seasonings, so you don't have to worry about anything. Just gonna go ahead and mix that in. We're gonna cover the pot in a few seconds, but before that, we're gonna add a little butter to that. This is vegan butter, or it's in a different bag, but it is vegan butter. So now that we have that in, you just wanna mix that in a little. For me, because I have the pumpkins, what I do, I tend to dig at the bottom just to raise the pumpkins and get them in between the rice so everything blends in naturally. I'm gonna go ahead and close that off, and we're gonna let that do its thing. While we're doing that, we take it to the other show. have our steaks ready, and our oil is ready also. So we're gonna go ahead and start the show. No delaying. We do this for you, so we want you to be entertained and enjoy it as much as possible. We're just gonna let those sear a bit. While those are searing, I'm always doing something, right? And multitask. So we're also making a salad. This is like a 2 to 5 minute salad if you're making it at home. 5 minutes because you probably have to search for the ingredients. So yeah. All we need is our tomato stock. I'm not going to use a whole cucumber today, so we're just using a piece of cucumber. Here we have some lettuce, as you can see. We're going to wash our lettuce. Basically, it's leaves. You just break the leaves off and wash them. And that's your lettuce right there. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to check on my steak. Very nice. Just trying to flip these without touching the pan with the metal. You can see those are nice and golden. Let them do its thing. Just gonna add a little bit of oil because I don't like when it burns. Well, they say this is non-stick, but I want to stick to what I know, right? So we have our rice doing its thing. We're multitasking, and everything is looking okay. So right about now, we're going to add our carrots. You want to give it that look. You also want to give it that feel, that taste. You want to combine everything. I know some of my friends are out there drooling, some of my subscribers are checking their cookbooks right now. They're like, yo, I'm gonna go make that one right now. I enjoy cooking for my subscribers because they always leave their comments telling me how they tried it, how they're gonna make it. And I mean, they inspire us to do a lot of things, so this is why we're here doing it. Why I mixed it in like that? Because I really to get everything assorted into each other. Right? We have our steak doing its thing. We will be with them in a minute. While the steak's doing its thing, we get back to our salad. We were washing our lettuce. Now that our lettuce is washed, we're going to chop it up. Some parts are a little red, but I don't mind that. I just believe it's a waste to throw away what's not bad. If I was back home, I could give it to the animals. But my birds don't even eat these stuff. So for me, I just want to get it like that. Squeeze a little lemon on it. Okay, you want to watch out for the teeth. They will ruin any dish. They're quite bitter. Not too tasty. Alright, while that's going on, I'm going to check on my steaks again. They're coming on quite well. Alright, so we have that ready. You just want to knock it in together. Plus the lemon will keep it fresh longer. So if you're going to like save it for a couple of days, not eat it all at once, the lemon juice should keep it fresh for a little while longer. Okay. And now we're going to add something extra special to that. We have some strawberry here, so we're just going to use not too much, just a few. I have some bad edges on my strawberries, so I'm just getting rid of those. They're not the best of best strawberries, but you use what you have. So you just want to slice those into 4 pieces. And we're going to go ahead and cut it at a 360 angle. So it's not just regular. Just go ahead, mix that all in. And that's going to be your salad. I'm going to plastic that when we're done. But for now, let's check on our steak. So we're just going to turn those. Good steak. So yes, they're coming out really well. Because they're so thin, you don't need to cook them that much or fry them that much. They're basically ready in a couple minutes. So Just leave them for a few more, and then we'll be back. We get some more oil in that. It's like when the heat touches the center of the pot, it changes it. So we're going to remove some of these because these are ready. Just so we want to burn them. Nice and spicy. That's right. So now we're going to add the broccoli and the chickpea. Again, this is a vegan style meal that you can literally, you don't need to eat meat with this. It's fortified on all sides. So what I'm doing is mixing that chickpea in and getting the broccoli in so they can steam. I know, it's like, how is it gonna fit all of that, right? But when you think it's over, it's just beginning. Because I also have some parsley flakes. I have the onions. Green onions. You tell me, you think it'll fit? Everything fits. So the aim is not to get everything in at once, or everything in the beginning, or in the benengen. You can wait a little until it's over. Once it's over, you can add it and you can mix it in. It's all your preference. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and cover that, and we'll be back soon. So here we are again. We're now going to make a little sauce for this steak. So from that leftover seasoning that we had, we're just going to use that. We're also going to add some barbecue sauce to that, some pepper sauce, and also some Dijon. Want to heighten that flavor. So here we have a barbecue sauce. We have some Diana, some original, we have our Dijon over here, our mustard, green mustard, This one is flavor. This one is Sweden. What the hell is it? Ah, mustard. Honey Dijon mustard. But the grainy type. Also, I'm gonna add a little pepperoncini to that. This stuff is on fire. And if you want like me, you can go ahead. Also add some regular mustard to that. I like to mix my flavors and spices. These are things I've done before, so I do know how they taste. You just gotta do it for yourself and let me know. This is ginger garlic. I tell you, I'm going all out today. We're gonna get that sauce popping so you guys can have something to be like, I'm gonna try that. And you need to try that. Just getting that extra mustard off. We're going to add some ketchup for some kicker and for like just to change the color of the sauce. Waiting for that to start boiling, whatever it does. As you can see, we didn't saute anything. We just want everything to be like fresh in the sauce. What you want to do, you want to leave that, you just want to let it boil and get into position. This is my steak over here. I'm just searching. Some of them have some, like a bit of thingy on it. What I like to do, I like to chop it up and just throw it inside. I mean, I can really call it a steak sauce because it has steak in it. Just gonna throw that in. This piece I'm gonna taste. As you can see, this is my salad. I couldn't have done this with the fork because I don't want to scrape the pot. But I do have the wooden spoon now, and that works quite fine. Over here, we have our vegetable and stuff steaming on the top. That's exactly what we want. Steam in. Steam in. The rice is cooked already. Just gotta give it some more. Also, we want to get our vegetables steamed in, so you know you want to kind of stuck it in like that in the center. And stick and make sure you have steam coming up, because that's what cooks rice, steam, not necessarily water. Stuffing it, but I'm making sure I get holes in it to get the steam to come up so it can cook the rest of my stuff. And that grandma is in here. She'll be like, you're wasting my stuff. Let's just a little cleanup while our stuff is going. Again, if you like what you've seen, don't forget to tap the like button on the channel. I know the video is a little long, but hey, when you're cooking, you gotta take time, right? You have all the ingredients in 2 minutes and the rest of the session to see how it comes out. That's how it should be. You can see our sauce is doing wonders right there. You can even go ahead and like drop tomatoes, because tomatoes is starchy and they do help to thicken your sauce. As you can see, there's no oil in the sauce. It's just mainly water. Basically gonna let these just cook and do their thing. I guess I didn't cut that up. Just gonna squish it. So I need it. Squish it to get those oils and those flavors out of it, which is what you're looking for. And you can see there's a little piece of beef floating inside. And right there, that's basically a beef stew right there. If you want to make a stew, you don't have to think too hard. Just braise your meat, and then you cut it into the pieces you want. You toss it in, and that will be your stewed beef right there. And with the cornstarch and everything, it's just so gooey and nice. Wish you guys were here. Check on our rice, and ooh, it's coming on quite well. Quite well. Quite well. That's your vegan rice right there. Okay, and we're back. So now we get to that section. You want to check your rice. But again, this is not normal rice cooking. So it won't be dry as you want it to, because it has pumpkins. It has all those essentials, right? So it's not gonna be just cooked right off the bat. It's not gonna be, sorry, I don't mean cooked right off the bat. That's gonna mean it's not gonna be dry right off the bat. So once you dish it out and leave it to air out, it should dry by itself. And my pot is overloaded, so you need to be very diligent with this. You can see it's like sticky rice. That looks really good. My pot was overloaded, as you guys see. Look, that looked like it should be. That should be all that comes out of the pot. But look at the pot; I barely touched it. So what I'm gonna do with the rest of this, I'm just gonna fluff it and let steam get through it, steam and air, and the rest of it will dry down even more. Ooh, perfect. So now that we have this ready, I do my regular clean, 2-second cleaning. Then we're gonna dish a plate. Here we have our plate. Yeah, I'm rinsing everything. I like to rinse everything, so keep your dust free. So for me, I like to add just a little drop of oil, butter, whatever you want to do. Put it around. So the rice I just took out. So make sure I get everything in there. Ooh, that's hot. That's really hot. Yeah, I should definitely try using something else. Okay, we have that there. So when you come to my restaurant in Dominica, the French island, the Garden State of the world, you will see me on the side making lunches. This will be my street food vending. Don't be shy, come out. Nice sticky rice. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my little steak right there. And along with my steak, what would be steak without some steak sauce? Right over there. Right? And with my steak sauce. Let's not forget our salad. And if you like what you see, don't forget to like and share the channel. Help us into the algorithm. That's how we survive. And you can go even a little further. And you want to add just a little Caesar. And there we are. What could be more lovelier and tasty? beef heart steak with a steak sauce, DIY steak sauce. You have your salad, and you have your vegan rice, which can be eaten by itself. Thank you for watching. This is Food for ANL. I am your host, Chef Bliss, and thank you for watching. Tap the like button, help us into the algorithm, and see you soon.